How's it going, everybody, and welcome back to Fight Hard, Fight Clean. Misfits is so unbelievably back. Not only do we have Wilder versus Chisora in April, we're getting a little appetizer for that, a little bit of that breadstick ordeal in March. Y'all remember MF Duel, that Western card with Fox the G versus Lil Cray Cray, and it was an amazing card? We're getting a sequel. Ty Mitchell will be fighting Gabriel Rosado on MF Duel 2 live in Derby. It is on March 7th, and it's for the MF Pro Light Heavyweight Championship. What a clash that is going to be. But before we get into the main course, again, let's start from the bottom with Jade Jones versus Egypt Chris. I had to do a little bit of digging for this fight, but I got an overall basis of who Jade Jones is and who Egypt Chris is. Jade Jones is an Olympic level Taekwondo fighter. She's gotten multiple gold medals in the Olympics for Taekwondo. Now, here's the thing. Taekwondo is mainly a kicking sport, but what that tells me is that she's comfortable with the concept of combat in front of an audience. She's accustomed to the pressure. She knows what to do and how to feel when the pressure's high. And this was not a swift transition into boxing. She's been boxing for about a year now.
Kind of get to see a different side, you know, the kind of fighter side that you don't really get to see in Taekwondo. Taekwondo is purely feet, so...
Hands, former boxer,
good jab.
Legendary coach Steve Swifty Smith. Jones is in the best...
I'm gonna be picky. Usually when you box, you gotta go boom. When you throw the jab, the right hand's got to come up, same with the right hand. This kind of motion that I've talked about before.
To see how she was when people punching her, and she got in and she sparred with Liv Hussey and had a look, and I'd seen then that she's not one of them who's going to turn away. She's got a lot of bottle and she'll go for it a bit, so I knew she had something to work on and go for.
Okay, she has sparred. Okay, so this tells me a lot. She's used to fighting in front of an audience. She sparred, and her coach says she's not gonna, bow away and be like, oh no, please don't hit me. She's down for the scrap. And again, worst case scenario, she can just fire off a kick. Okay, no, she's probably not gonna do that. But I'm excited to see what she does, because her opponent, Egypt Chris, from what I've seen, is a hip hop star and the daughter of Salt and Peppa's Sandra Denton. She actually called out Krishan Rock at some point. There was like a call out video where she was like, hey, I see Krishan Rock fighting on this card. I want to get some of that. So she's been wanting to get into this scene for a while. This is just her ticket in. And I think, according to Tapology, she was meant to fight Demi Sims on the canceled Misfits 21 card, which I'm still mad that got canceled. That is the most beautiful looking Misfits card I've ever seen in my life. And she's not scared of a scrap either. She punched somebody on a reality show. Take a look at this clip.
Take my rings, baby. Take it.
It was a shitty clip because you didn't see the punch. But usually with fights like this, where I don't know how much boxing experience the two have, I usually say the one who is less timid to throw offense is going to win the fight, because anybody can hit pads, because pads don't hit back. But when you're in the moment and you know you're going to get hit at some point, it's a matter of what you do with that pressure. With these two women, I don't think they're going to be timid to throw. Like I said, Egypt Chris, I think she's got that scrap, bone in her where she's like, I don't give a fuck, let's go. And obviously Jade Jones has been fighting on the Olympic level for so long that, again, she's not scared of a fight either. She's used to this. But there could be some factors that determine how each fighter performs. For example, Jade Jones, she's been fighting in front of an audience for so long. Is there maybe an underlying fear of failure with Jade Jones in front of that crowd because it's her first boxing match? Maybe, maybe not. This could honestly turn out like Elle Brooke and Faith Ordway, where one of them was showing like really great boxing technique and everybody was like, wow, this is gonna be, Faith Ordway is gonna walk all over Elle Brooke. And then Elle Brooke, because she was more willing to stand in front of her and just throw hands, she got the victory. Like, her face was bloodied. She got her fair share of punches. However, because she was less scared of the storm, she got the win. And maybe Egypt Chris is gonna be like, hey, I know you're more technically sound than me, but I'm just gonna swing and hope you go down. And sometimes that works. Sometimes the non-boxer can win because the boxer is so, especially early in their career, they're so used to that technical style of boxing. When somebody just swings at them with no technique at all, then it could go in their favor. Okay. So she's got some power. She's turning that knuckle over well. She's turning the hips well. So again, this could be really competitive. The more research I did for this fight, the more I realized it's going to be a lot closer than I thought it would be. Because of Jones's experience in front of a crowd fighting, and she's been training for a year up to this point, I'm going to go with Jade Jones by a decision. And next, Carla Jade versus Pearl Gonzalez for the Misfits Boxing Women's Middleweight Championship. Carla Jade wants to be Carla Two Belts. She's already got the Lightweight Championship. She wants the Middleweight Championship. This fight had to be next. Carla Jade and Pearl Gonzalez were both on Misfits Mania, and I believe one of them was slapped by the other one after Pearl Gonzalez's fight, because Carla Jade was earlier on in the card. So Carla Jade fought, she was in the back, she came out after Pearl Gonzalez got her win, and in that Misfits Mania fight against Ty Emery for Pearl Gonzalez, she did pretty well, but there are holes in her game that Carla Jade could capitalize on and almost revolve her offense around. Every time Ty Emery came forward with punches, Pearl Gonzalez just kind of backed up, or she moved her head straight back. Now that works. Do not get me wrong. If you can weave a punch, weave a punch. Against Carla Jade, because she's so lengthy with her jab in her right hand, moving straight back is going to end up in you eating punches. So she's got to work on switching the angles, you know, weaving that head left and right instead of just back. She's got to work on, you know, ducking left and right. Carla Jade has become a maestro with her jab. She did it against Nikki Rue. She had a lot of success with it against Taylor Starling on the Misfits Mania card, and that could easily be her ticket to victory in this fight. However, if Pearl incorporates blitzes into her offense, where she just kind of, you know, moves forward and tries to land in the pocket, that is where she can capitalize. With the right movement, if Gonzalez can kind of, you know, get around that jab, maybe eat one or two, get into range, overhand on that raised chin, the champ could be down, or the lightweight champ could be down, because they're technically both champions. But again, she has to be willing to take that risk, and she can't do it if she's not comfortable with it. She has the talent to do it. She has the, you know, fighting experience. It's just a matter of finding that opening and capitalizing on it. Carla Jade is getting better. She's learning to, you know, really almost exploit her natural reach. And she can win this whole fight without Pearl Gonzalez coming anywhere near her. And based on that fact alone, I think because of Carla Jade's reach and what she's doing with her reach, I think she's only getting better with each fight. I think she's going to win this by close decision, and Carla Jade will have the lightweight championship and the middleweight championship. I am officially predicting two-belt Carla. Next fight, Waleed Sharks versus Argentinian King. The lightweight division, like this division always delivers. We've got what? Waleed Argentinian King, Fox the G, Yodi Yang TV, Cray Dean. Like, all of these guys are amazing fighters and put on the best fights. And I fully expect the same effect with this fight. Waleed Sharks, heart of fucking steel. Every time, you cannot keep this dude down. He's been knocked down countless times. He just keeps getting back up. He doesn't care. He's like, hey, I will keep walking you down until the final bell rings. Okay, I don't think it's that much, but he does have, from what I've seen, a heart of a fucking lion. He's got quick hands, close range. He's got some good power when there's distance in between him and his opponent, and Argentinian King has to find a way to counteract that. How can he counteract that? Timing and aggression. From the first bell, AK needs to come out there, chest out, balls out, out, willing to put the pedal to the metal against Waleed. If he does it the right way, he can make Waleed a hesitant fighter. That's what Fox did. Fox came out in that wide stance, and even if he was just landing on the guard, the continuous pressure, the continuous punches made it so Waleed didn't have an opening to land his fucking heavy shots. It is risky though. Waleed still can find openings if you're putting the pressure to him, so if that doesn't work, what else? Timing and range, especially in the second fight against Dean. Every time Waleed was hurt, it came from a counter shot. Off the dome, the one I'm thinking of was when Dean was on the ropes and he kind of had that Philly shell thing going on. Waleed tried to frame, throw off the right hand. Dean rolled it off his shoulder and even moved his face so the punch didn't connect at all, then came back with a right hand, pull counter, Waleed went down. And for Waleed, I think the game plan should be about the same. Do not let him make you hesitate. Get up there, walk him down, and land offense. But also, I wouldn't utilize the high guard as much as he did in previous fights. I'd want him to move his head. Waleed is an excellent fighter. He's had excellent performances. We just need to see that version of Waleed come out again. In terms of a prediction, I'm leaning towards Waleed. I think Waleed is going to come out strong and he's going to find a way around those punches and he's going to land very meaningful shots. And by the end of the fight, I think AK is going to be weathered. Next, Jordan Banjo versus Tempo Arts. Banjo's last fight and Tempo's last fight was on the same card, Misfits 21, except one of them was a one-on-one contest, the other was a survivor tag. Banjo's fight was against Will Anderson, which was, again, a controversial fight. My GOAT George Milkey was the referee in that fight, and it was a really, really bad job from him. 2 standing 8s, and a stoppage when he didn't even hit the ground once. He did not even get a chance to defend himself. Jordan Banjo did end up getting the victory, but he got really tired in between the 3rd round, and I think Tempo has a much better gas tank. So the number one thing that Banjo needs to work on in this training camp is his gas tank, because against Tempo, gassing out is going to end in your demise. Tempo Arts, he was in the survivor tag. The other 3 competitors were Big Tobes, Godson, and Curtis Pritchard. Now, I forgot this about Tempo. Tempo's speed, for his size, that shit ain't right. The power, though, is completely proportionate. He hits like a heavyweight. Tempo has to be weary, though, because there are elements of his offense that Banjo saw in Will Anderson that he was able to capitalize on. If Tempo comes in too aggressive, hands at his waist, and he's just swinging, I think Banjo could find an opening in between those punches, land a good one, and Banjo's got a decent amount of power. That could end in a knockdown or a knockout. However, I have a gut feeling that this fight was going to end because Jordan Banjo would be gassed by the 4th round, and Tempo Arts was just going to be able to maul him until he takes a knee and he gets stopped. I'm not saying he's going to gas out completely. I'm just saying I think by the time Banjo starts to feel fatigue, Tempo is still ready to go and ready to bang. And because of that, I've got Tempo Arts by a late 3rd round or a 4th round stoppage. However, don't forget, there is an opportunity for Banjo to land in between those huge shots from Tempo. I could see the openings where Banjo could take this victory. And your main event of the evening, Ty Mitchell versus Gabe Rosado for the Misfits Pro Light Heavyweight Championship. Ty Mitchell. What can you say about Ty Mitchell? He's got arms like Play-Doh. He's long, he's quick, he's weirdly loose for a heavyweight. Right when you think, okay, he's across the ring, he can't hit me, bam, on the side of the head and you're fucking perish. His last fight was on Misfits 22 against Sean Hemphill, but he had a couple moments where he looked really good, but as the rounds progressed, those championship rounds, the experience of Hemphill really started to catch up with Ty Mitchell, and there were a couple moments where he could have been stopped. This highlight specifically, if this was like midway through the round, Ty Mitchell could have lost his belt. There were even whispers of a robbery on social media with people thinking that the fight should have gone Sean's way. From the watch party, I haven't rewatched the fight, but I think I remember saying that I think Ty Mitchell did win the fight fairly. But Ty Mitchell's opponent, Gabe Rosado, who is he? Don't worry, my fellow crossover boxing fanatics and professional boxing casuals, I got you. He's a 28-17 pro and has faced some big names like Triple G, Jaime Munguia, and Shane Mosley Jr. And looking at the tail of the tape by Tapology, appreciate you Tapology, Ty Mitchell, apart from experience, has insane statistical advantages. Ty Mitchell is 6'4", compared to Rosado's 5'11". Ty Mitchell has a 75-inch reach to Rosado's 71-inch reach. If I'm Ty Mitchell, I'm not letting Rosado anywhere near me because that dude's got some monstrous power. Rosado had this insane knockout against Melikuziev where Melikuziev was trying to, you know, rush him, trying to get some offense off, and then just got hit with a fucking monstrous right hand. He was out completely. He face planted. If I'm Ty, I'm not going anywhere near him because I know he's experienced enough to come into my territory and I'm gonna have to defend anyway. So why am I rushing the process by going to him? If he uses his reach to his advantage, that will avoid a gas out, that will avoid getting hit with heavy shots that he doesn't need to take, and he will win this fight. The biggest times where Rosado's opponent was in serious trouble was when he was being blitzed. He ducked his head, then came over with an overhand. It almost happened to Munguia, but he got really lucky that it missed. So again, Ty Mitchell, use your reach and you'll be fine. I've got Ty Mitchell by a close decision. Again, it's Gabe Rosado. He's got a plethora of experience over Ty Mitchell, so he's going to make this competitive. We will see at least a couple moments in this fight where Gabe Rosado is in the pocket with Ty Mitchell. It's up to Ty Mitchell to make sure that it's only that couple times and he stays at range, stays calm, lands when he needs to, and coasts his way to a decision victory. And there we have it, folks. MF Duel 2, March 7th, live in Derby. There will be more fights announced. Mams Taylor put on Twitter in response to Frederick Beck that there will be more fights announced later, and I will certainly be back to talk about those fights. But until that day comes, what do you think of the current MF Duel 2 card? Let me know in the comments down below. And please hit the like button, hit the subscribe button. It helps me out a bunch. And as always, my friends, fight hard, fight clean, and I'll see you soon.